Hi doctors, this is a case that ended up in a posterior open bite. So this is the initial ClinCheck that was approved, and the goal was to get the lower canines into the arch and correct the crossbite. I can see from these upper attachments and from playing the ClinCheck that the upper anterior was designed to extrude, and then some of these lower incisors were meant to intrude to match where the canines needed to upright. And although this looks pretty nice, and I'm glad there was some lower IPR, there was not enough retention attachments throughout the posterior to really help with this lower anterior intrusion. So I could see how this lower anterior intrusion would have lagged behind. We can see how this isn't quite as intruded as what the initial ClinCheck planned. Better than what it started, but certainly didn't get all the way there. So if the lower anterior didn't completely intrude, but the upper anterior did extrude, then this is going to finish with an anterior interference, therefore leaving the rest of the teeth in a posterior open bite. Even though additionally, this first ClinCheck had some molar movements planned in, we can see how ineffective those molar movements were. Second molars cannot predictably twist and turn this way, especially without an attachment. So the better way to approach this now refinement here is to close the lower anterior spaces, but then also add more retention attachments through the premolars and really focus on doing more retraction and intrusion of the lower anterior, leaving these posterior teeth alone because these are unpredictable movements. Once we get the interference out of the way, which is right through here, then the rest of the posterior teeth should come together better. So moving all these posterior teeth rather than just moving really only the 4 or 6 anterior teeth does not make much sense. So where I would do this is to go through the 3D controls or to write to the technicians to get retention attachments at least through the first premolars, remove these attachments, eliminate the molar movements, and then do just lower intrusion and retraction, and maybe add a lower anterior C-chain just to really hug those in away from the upper teeth. I would also add bite ramps here so that the molar teeth don't get the opportunity to passively intrude, which may have been a little bit of what we see here from the initial ClinCheck.